the Virginia Horse Industry Board, Southwest Virginia Agricultural Association, and the Virginia Christmas Tree Growers Association are proud sponsors of Virginia farming.
This program's brought to you by the Virginia Farm Bureau. Large or small, Virginia farmers work year-round to help put food on your table. And Farm Bureau works year-round to help farmers and all Virginians. Farming, it's all good. To learn more, go to vafarmbureau.org.
Brought to you by Farm Family, Life, Auto, Business, Farm. Jim Gray, farmer's son, agribusiness owner, insurance agent. Another personal story on farmfamilypeople.com. Farm Family, the people you know. Hi everybody, welcome to Virginia Farming. I'm Amy Rocher. This week we visit with Forrest Pritchard, a farmer in Berryville who turned his struggling farm into a profitable business. He also wrote a book about it called Gaining Ground, and his book seems to be doing as well as his farm. Then we'll talk about feeding birds when we join Mark Viette in the garden. And as always, we'll have the Ag Calendar and a Minute in the Field video. All this plus the Ag News of the Week on this edition of Virginia Farming. VDAC's recently announced Virginia crop yields, and they're forecasting a good year for corn, but less productive year for peanuts and cotton. The corn yield is estimated to be 150 bushels per acre, which is a record for the state and is approximately a 3% increase from the previous record in the year 2000. Now, production is forecast at 53.3 million bushels, up 48% from last year. Peanut production is forecast to be down 30% from last year, and the cotton yield is also forecast to be down 12% from last year. The soybean yield is predicted to be 5% lower than last year's record yield, but production is still expected to total 23.6 million bushels. The national forecast for soybeans, if realized, puts this year's production at the third highest on record. Corn could also set a record for national production, with total production up 30% from 2012. Well, Virginia has a rich tradition of horse racing, and Burning Daylight Farms in Albemarle County has been part of that history. But now this beautiful farm produces a new farm commodity. Sherry McKinney has the story.
Take one look at the pasture at Burning Daylight Farms in Albemarle County, and it doesn't look that much different than any other beef cattle operation in the state. Most of the 325 head of cattle lazily rest under shade to escape the hot afternoon sun. But further up the hill, you notice that this isn't your ordinary cattle farm. A magnificent barn shows that it was once home and birthplace for thoroughbred racehorses.
We had this barn built and we moved our horses here. And when Kentucky changed their breeding rules or laws, it made better sense for us to keep our mares down there year-round.
A racehorse that is born and bred in Kentucky results in a bigger purse when it wins races. That led the farm operators to switch gears to raising grass-fed beef.
Within the past 5 years is when we've really been focusing on the grass-fed beef, doing rotational grazing, changing our bulls to Solaris bulls because the birthing process is a little easier on the cows. The marbling in the meat is a lot better.
Grass-fed beef is a popular product with consumers in local farmers markets and some meat markets. The meat typically has less fat than traditional grain-fed beef and has a more pronounced taste. This type of beef is produced by animals that have never eaten anything other than their mother's milk and grass their entire lives. Despite an increase in consumer demand for grass-fed beef, the market is still relatively small. The latest statistics show grass-fed beef is less than 3% of all U.S. beef sales. But the number of U.S. grass-fed beef producers is rising from 50 in 2002 to more than 2,000 in 2011. At Burning Daylight Farms, the cattle are raised from birth to market. The only time they don't eat grass is in the winter when it's replaced with hay. Right now, the farm sells beef directly to the consumer through a meat processor in Lexington, Virginia.
Tastes a little different, you know. I mean, you can't overcook it, but the demand is there. I mean, you see these artisanal places, restaurants that want to be able to put on their menus that there's grass-fed beef.
Just like when raising top quality racehorses, the farm's operators pay attention to every detail to provide a quality product to the consumer.
Oh, it means a lot. I would hope that people would take advantage of being able to buy local. I mean, the whole thing is know your farmer, and what a great way to know your farmer, I mean, they're Virginia raised, and, everything stays here in Virginia, so, it's helping our Virginia industry.
Anyone interested in buying custom beef cuts from Burning Daylight Farms can contact the farm directly at 434-978-1415, or you can find grass-fed beef at many farmers markets or local food sources around the state. Reporting in Albemarle County, I'm Sherry McKinney.
Thanks, Sherry. Well, there's certainly no shortage of horses or beef cattle in Virginia, but sheep are another story. The sheep industry in the U.S. has been declining since its peak in the 1940s. Now, over the last 20 years, the number of sheep in the U.S. has been cut in half. Farmers are facing a decreased demand for their wool, with synthetic fibers like nylon and polyester taking its place. Lamb consumption is also declining. The average person ate less than 1 pound of lamb in the year 2011, as compared to 4.5 pounds in the early 1960s. Now, when Congress repealed the National Wool Act in 1993, they ended subsidies for sheep ranchers, pushing many out of business. 1/3 of all lamb sold in the U.S. is now sold directly from producer to consumer to specific populations who favor lamb. Well, the Valley Conservation Council was awarded a $170,000 grant from the Chesapeake Bay Program and the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation. These funds are for the VCC's project to support the placement of conservation easements on Shenandoah Valley farms that have implemented agricultural best management practices, such as livestock stream exclusion and riparian forested buffers. Conservation practices are often funded through cost-share programs by state and local governments, but there's no guarantee that these practices will be sustained after the cost-share contract expires, which is usually within 15 years. Now, the VCC can ensure that these benefits continue over the long term by offering incentives to assist landowners with the cost of undertaking a conservation easement. This program is aimed to support the Virginia Watershed Implementation Plan goals to improve water quality in the Chesapeake Bay. Well, it's not news that a lot of our Virginia farmers are struggling to make ends meet. Today, we meet a man who turned his family farm around, Virginia farmer and author Forrest Pritchard. That's straight ahead on Ag Insights. Today we're coming from Berryville, Virginia, a farm called Smith Meadows Farm. It's the home of Forrest Pritchard, who is an author and a full-time farmer. His book is called Gaining Ground, and it's about how he turned his family farm around to be profitable once again. Forrest, thanks so much for having us.
Thank you. Welcome.
So give me some history about the farm.
Sure. This farm has been our family since the early 1800s, roughly 1816, and I'm a 7th-generation farmer. My grandfather was the last full-time farmer here, and he farmed from 1915 till 1983. And our farm, give or take, comprises 500 acres. Of course, we're a grass farm here, so everything that you see in the background and everything you'll be seeing here later is all pasture-based.
And what was farmed here originally?
Clark County in the northern Shenandoah Valley is very famous for its wheat crops. All through the 1800s, in the Civil War, for example, the Shenandoah Valley was really the breadbasket of America for a while before expansion really moved to the center of the country. So there was wheat that was grown here. In the mid part of the 20th century, apples were very famous. Winchester was known as the apple capital of the world in the 50s and 60s. Of course, all during that time, livestock has been a real component of our agricultural heritage here. Sheep, cattle. Of course, every farm wouldn't be a farm without some chickens. So we try to maintain some of those traditions for sure.
Your book talks about saving your family farm and turning it around, but there had to be a certain point. What was the breaking point for you that said, this is it, I'm going to save this farm and turn it around one way or another?
Well, any farmer that's watching the show knows that a family farm's never saved. It's a journey. So, that title is meant to connote to the world of people who aren't farmers, to get a sense of what we were trying to accomplish. But there was a specific turning point when I got out of college in 1996. I had graduated with degrees in English and geology from Virginia State School. And when you go to college, at least 20 years ago, you're not supposed to be a farmer. Okay, you're supposed to go out and get a haircut and a real job and put out your resume and those things. And I was very stubborn. I wanted to maintain this tradition of our heritage and what my grandfather had accomplished. And so I just decided right out of college I was going to try to farm. And the real turning point was our very first year. We did everything the way we were supposed to. We planted corn, we planted soybeans, we followed all the right protocols. And our first year, when we went to open our envelope to get our check, and of course this was all commodity. You just went down the road and you get a check in the mail. That's how it happens. After we sorted out our profit, we made $18.16. That was our net profit for the year. Of a year's worth of work was right around $18. And that's either going to make you do what they say, go out and get a job, or really make you reassess what direction you're going to go in.
The book also talks about what you went through, and I understand there's a lot of humorous stories in there. Could you share a couple of those stories with us?
So yeah, definitely humor plays a big part. There's if you pick up the book, there's going to be firewood deliveries to ornery old ladies and goats in pickup trucks and falling down in chicken manure and basically Three Stooges kinds of elements. That goes along with daily farm life. You're out there doing this stuff and it's temporarily frustrating in the moment, and then you get to the end of the day and you look back on it, you're like, objectively that was kind of funny.
So your journey started around 1996. How long before you were profitable?
Well, when I started in 96, that first year was devoted to, the way we were supposed to do things, the way everybody else around here does things. You plant corn, you plant soybeans, you plant your legume followed by your grass kind of thing, and you rotate and you go about your business. Well, for us, that was worth about $20. So that next year, I did anything I could to try and get our farm back on track. I sold firewood, I sold hay, I sold, if anybody's been to the Shenandoah Park down near Front Royal, the straw that was used to seed all the grass down there came from our farm. Okay, we sold truckloads of straw down there. I was going to run through a brick wall if I had to save our place. When you're selling firewood and you're selling hay, there was something about it. I really wanted to be selling food. I wanted to be, as a farmer, I wanted to be growing things, that people could be eating.
So how did you end up making a profit?
Well, that's a lot of where the humor in the story of the book comes in, because with hindsight being 20/20 now, what made a lot of sense to me in 1996, 1997, as we were starting this journey, we came to discover that the world just wasn't ready for us. Okay. And now where you go to a restaurant where everything is farm to table and you've got a Whole Foods, within driving distance, or every little town has a farmer's market, that just wasn't the way. It's easy to forget that even 15, 20 years ago, it was not that way.
So when you were starting out, did you just go to the one farmer's market?
We did start out at Berryville. Berryville did have a farmer's market at that point. And when we went to expand, we looked very locally. We looked at Charlestown, West Virginia. We looked at Middleburg, Virginia, Leesburg, some of these markets. And the intersection of our ambitions and dreams versus the economic reality didn't quite match up in the late 90s, for sure. So as much as we showed up, we brought good product, we smiled, we had our caps on straight, it just didn't quite matter if the town didn't turn out and shop.
So how has that changed recently?
Yeah, so for example, when we were doing Berryville farmers markets in the late 1990s, it was not unusual for us to bring home. And keep in mind, this is what, we were coming there with fresh eggs, beef by the pound, pork sausages. These weren't things, you didn't have to come and buy half a cow. We were trying to make it as easy as possible. So we had it in coolers, and if you wanted a pound of bacon, here's your pound of bacon, and
right,
take some money and have a nice day, kind of thing. So it wasn't any great leap of a leap of faith for folks. So how it's changed, for example, when we stopped doing the Berryville Farmers Market in 1999 because we could not make a go of it economically, it wasn't unusual for us to make $85, $90 at that market. We came back this year, and 2013, right out of the gate, we were doing $800, $900, $1,000. at Berryville.
Wow.
It's a tremendous, tremendous difference.
Do you attribute a lot of your success to the local food movement?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I think there's a real hunger, a real passion for folks that want to support their farmers. You know, they want to support them for a number of reasons, not just because it makes them feel good, you know, but because there's authenticity to it, there's transparency in their food. They want to make sure that you know, the food that they're eating has a history, and they can go actually see how it's grown. They want a relationship with their farmer to be able to understand the growing practices, the humane treatment of animals, the slaughtering practices, things like that. So yeah, a lot of this stuff just in the past 10 years has just really gotten a lot of traction.
So they really weren't ready for you before, but they are now.
Well, it's burgeoning. You know, I mean, don't make any mistake. I'm not a pie in the sky kind of guy. Farmers market. It's only like 1 in 10 people shop at farmers market like once a year. Okay, which is pretty statistically irrelevant if you're a big guy. Okay, if you're dependent on nationwide trucking systems and warehouses in St. Louis that are however many 100,000 square feet or whatever. But for a small farm like ours, okay, and 500 acres might sound like a big farm. Okay, it's really all relative. 500 acres is a nice, sustainable production farm for us. It makes a huge difference if somebody comes and spends an extra $20 with us. You know, 10 years ago, somebody coming and buying an extra couple pounds of ground beef was the difference of me being able to pay my bills that week, or not, frankly.
So what was your biggest hurdle?
My biggest hurdle was probably my own personal energy level. Okay, I wanted to be super farmer. I wanted to be that guy that could go at it 7 days a week and just grow all the food that the world needed. And it was probably the realization that one person can only do so much. One farmer, like, if you don't take care of yourself, then you're not going to be any good for anybody.
What's been the biggest thing you've learned through all of this process?
Customer appreciation, customer gratitude on my part. Okay, when my grandfather farmed for 65, 70 years, he was a commodity farmer, okay, which meant he put apples on a truck, he put corn on a truck, he put cattle on a truck, he put cows on a truck, and they went down the road and they disappeared. And 3 or 4 days later, he got a check in the mail. Okay, what happened to that food? He never really knew. With all due respect, it probably wasn't that important to him, but he had more important stuff to do. He had to like plant his next crop or harvest his next apples. And the important thing was he got the proper paycheck for it, and he was able to do that for several decades, where we weren't. And we had to transform our farm. Okay, what worked for him and his generation was not going to work for us, certainly not on the scale that we have here. So it's having that back and forth, that relationship with a customer where they really value what we have, and the gratitude that I have to them, to have them reliably show up at farmers market, to come out and support our farm store, to tell their friends, like, this is really this story. The story of this food isn't just great; it tastes great too. So,
do you have kids?
I do. I've got an 8-year-old son.
So what's his thoughts on farming? Does he help?
Oh yeah, he's very much interested in becoming a farmer, and I think that's kind of one of the greatest responsibilities, or kind of the onus on farmers themselves, is to create a farm, create an environment that kids want to participate in. I mean, we're nothing as a society without a next generation of farmers. Okay, and for me, I'm 39 years old. I come from kind of a missing generation of farmers. Never before there's always been a chain of farmers in our country. And for my generation, it just disappeared. And nobody really noticed, I think, for a while, because we had all these like hidden efficiencies and mechanization and sprays and chemicals and all these things. And so we could kind of smoke screen it for a while. But the fact is the average age of farmers in this country now is 60 years old.
Right.
Okay, and some of those folks are, by necessity, are going to need to retire. And they've earned it. So we need to have this next generation of folks coming along, and for my 8-year-old, he's very interested in being a farmer just like Dad. So I'm going to try and keep him on that path for sure, and let him have a choice when it comes down to it. But let it be like a positive choice. Let it be a choice he feels passionate about.
That he doesn't feel like he has to just to keep the family farm going.
Right. Let it be something that's intellectually challenging, that requires his ingenuity and his innovation. Let him pour some artistic spirit into the farm.
Your book is called Gaining Ground. Where can we find the book?
Right. So if you want to do the exact opposite of everything we talked about today and not shop local, you of course can go where everybody shops, which is Amazon. Check out the reviews. It's been quite a fun ride. Of course, there's indiebound.com as well, which basically links you to your most local bookstore that will ship the book to you. So there's local bookstores, independent, surprising in this day and age that they still exist, that will take your order and put it in the mail to you. Of course, you can also go to our website, smithmeadows.com, and link to both of those things right there. So last but not least, if you come by any of our farmers markets, and we do 7 farmers markets year-round in this area, you'll find it at our farmers market stands as well. So
great. Well, Forrest, thank you so much for having us out today. It's been a lot of fun.
My pleasure.
We'll be right back. Feeding birds over the winter months can add color and interest to your garden. With tips, here's Mark Viette.
During the winter, when the leaves have fallen and your flowers have faded, if you want to brighten up your garden, you can do that by attracting birds. And one of the things that I like to do to attract a wide array and variety of birds is to mix my own seed. I add about 10 to 20 different ingredients in the seed blend, and I have found in my own garden that I have attracted everything from the pileated woodpeckers to cardinals to nuthatches to titmouses to slate-colored juncos, and many, many more. And what I usually do is I take a variety of different seeds, and the bulk of the mix is made up of the black oil sunflower, and I take about 3/4 of this material and I pour it into a pan. To that, I add about 25% of the striped sunflower. You can then add a mixture of sunflower hearts, canary seed, 3 or 4 different types of millet, and thistle seed. And you don't need much. You just need a small amount. Even less than this is sufficient. To that, I add peanut hearts. You might want to add lettuce seed, or cabbage, or broccoli seed, or mustard seed. I even add teasel and lettuce. All of these things help attract a wide variety of birds. Then peanuts, and then sunflower chips and thistle seed again. And then finally, I add different types of fruit. And in this case, I'm going to add some raisins. In addition to the special seed blend that you have created, it's also important to have a wide variety of bird feeders. And this is a flat feeder. You can even build this yourself in your own garage. And I like to keep it about 4 feet tall. And this is great for cardinals and blue jays. Another type of feeder is a long feeder for some of the smaller birds. And then you can even have a thistle feeder like you see here. I have a suet feeder for the woodpeckers and some of your other birds. In addition to having a multiple number of feeders in a small area, I do place other bird feeders throughout the garden, and that helps get rid of territorial disputes for birds like mockingbirds that like to keep other birds away. By having other feeders, you can eliminate that problem. I'm Mark Viette. Join me next time in the garden.
Taking a look at the ag calendar, the 2013 Virginia Farm to Table Conference will be held at Blue Ridge Community College in Weyers Cave on December 4th and 5th. Speakers and panelists will address critical challenges surrounding local foods and sustainable regional food systems. To register by November 29th, visit the web address on your screen or call Eric Benfelt at 540-432-6029, extension 106. That does it for our show. Thanks for watching and have a great week. I'm Amy Rocher for Virginia Farming.
This program's brought to you by the Virginia Farm Bureau. From apples to zucchini, Virginia farmers work hard to put food on your table. And Farm Bureau works year-round to help farmers and all Virginians. Farming, it's all good. To learn more, go to vafarmbureau.org.
Brought to you by Farm Family. Life, auto, business, farm. Steve Morse, fruit grower, distiller, entrepreneur. Another personal story on farmfamilypeople.com. Farm Family, the people you know.